So I'm going to be doing another You Watch It With Me commentary. The last one that I did was on the final episode of Gotham, which was season 4, the last episode. And then before that I did Ghost Rider, the extended cut. And then I did something else before that, which was my first You Watch It With Me. I can't remember what it was, but I think I've done 3 of these commentaries over the past year or so. Well, last year I think I did. I think that's when I started this whole segment. So yeah, I think I've done 3 of these videos on my channel. I know I've done the last episode of Gotham. I know I've done Ghost Rider, the extended cut, and then I think there was another one. I think unless Ghost Rider was the first one that I did, but I don't remember. It's either 2 or 3 of these You Watch It With Me's that I've done on this channel. And I thought tonight, I'd go through hell. I thought I'd punish myself and watch Freddy's Dead, the final chapter. Well, as they say on the title, which Freddy never really died because he came back for Freddy vs. Jason. So yeah, this is one of those titles that lie to you, where it says it's the final nightmare, but he ends up returning, kind of what they did with Saw as well. Like the last movie was called Saw: The Final Chapter, and they went on to make Jigsaw and all that. So that was not the final chapter. Um, I've seen this movie like once or twice before, and I don't remember much about it. I didn't really like it from what I remember. What I do remember about the movie is that Alice Cooper is in the movie because I'm a big Alice Cooper fan. I really like his music. You know, "School's Out" is a great song, and that's all I remember about it is Alice Cooper's cameo in this movie. That's all I really remember in that. Obviously, Robert England is back as Freddy Krueger, which he played Freddy all through the original Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So from 1984 to Freddy vs. Jason, and then yeah, Jackie Earl Haley was his replacement for the remake. So yeah, he's played Freddy for like years now. So yeah, like I would like to see him come back as Freddy, and I would like to see him come back as like the dark, sinister Freddy, like the one in the 1984 movie. Like the Freddy in Freddy's Dead, from what I remember, he was just very over comedic, and like the I think like I stopped watching after 4, so I haven't seen Dream Child. I plan to watch that next week because I plan to do a marathon of this franchise. So watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, Freddy's Dead. I mean, not Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, Freddy's Dead: The Final Chapter again, Freddy vs. Jason, and then to end it all, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, the remake. So yeah, I plan to do that next week because I stopped watching after 4 because I didn't like the comedic, cartoonish tone that the franchise took after 4. Because I watched 4 and I was just like, yeah, this is not for me. This franchise has totally lost its roots. So yeah, like I'll talk about more about like the franchise as I watch Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, because I'm sure you guys are wondering, Dove, when are you going to put on the movie? We want to watch it with you. So yeah, do you know what? I'll put it on right now. So we'll just get it set up. Here we go, and play. I'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. New Line Cinema logo. Welcome to Primetime, bitch. Oh wow, you're really gonna reference one of the best sequels in this franchise? Dream Warriors? Seriously? Like they had a quote in like the opening credits just then saying, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch," one of the most iconic lines. What's the point of that? Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. Or is it? We'll find out. Springwood. But yeah, anyways, yeah, like I stopped watching it after four because I didn't really like the whole comedic tone. I found it very cartoonish and very childish, and yeah, I was just like, that's not Freddy. Like Freddy did have a sense of humor in the first three movies, but it was more in the background. Like it was still there, but it wasn't so obvious to the audience that Freddy is a comedic character. He was more dark and sinister than the original, but he still had that comedic charm to him, but it was more in the background. It's like if Freddy's Dead and A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and all that did that, I would have probably been fine. These movies, they may have not been good, but they would have been better than what we actually got. Because I think from memory, Freddy's Dead Upon Nightmare was actually the most comedic Freddy, I think, out of the entire franchise. That's from memory. I haven't seen them all, like I stopped watching after four. I got this on DVD because, the final nightmare, I wanted to, see the conclusion and all that, which it lied. So, yeah. But yeah, I think Robert Englund, I think he's still like the best out of all these movies. He's like he's great as Freddy. Even in like the really crappy ones like this, like he's still like he still ends up to give a good performance as the character for what he has to work with. Because like the scripts and all that are just dreadful for Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. And also, yeah, speaking of your Final Nightmare, from memory there was no satisfaction. It wasn't satisfying. Okay, so yeah, it was a nightmare. So he just fell out of a plane, and now he's just woken up in his bed, whoever this character is. Oh no, not the broomstick scene. This is embarrassing. Oh. Okay, so he's still in a dream. He's still in the dream world. But I remember this scene where like Freddy comes in like on a broomstick and he says like, "You are all my pretties" or something. He says something like really cheesy. Oh god. Uh, oh right, I'll get you my pretty. That was the line. Oh jeez. uh, See, this is what I mean. Is like the franchise was never about Freddy on a broomstick. It was never like full on comedic. But yeah, it's like that. They should stop making a Nightmare on Elm Street movies after Dream Warriors, because 4, 5, and 6 are not necessary. Freddy vs Jason I actually liked, but yeah, what was it? Uh, Dream Master, I think. Yeah, like Dream Master, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and I'm assuming Freddy's, no, Dream Child. Like they aren't necessary. The like Freddy's Revenge, I like the original. Obviously, it's a classic. I love it. It's my all-time favorite horror slasher movie. The third one, I think, is a great sequel to the first one. They also made um Wes Craven's A New Nightmare. I forgot about that. I think that is a great redemption for Wes Craven. I thought that was a great sequel. How it took place like in the dream world and in reality, and I liked. That's probably one of the only movies that actually shows reality and the dream world in a really cool way. Like they show what's happening in both like realities, which I really liked. I thought that was good. It says on the back of the cover here that Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp. I thought Johnny Depp's character died in the first movie. So why is he back in this? Unless it's like a flashback scene, but yeah, I don't remember seeing Johnny Depp. When was this movie released? 1991, I think was the release date of Freddy's Dead. So how is Johnny Depp in the movie? Because if you look on the back there, you can see that, yeah, Johnny Depp. It says he's in this movie. It must be like a flashback or something. Because, yeah, he died in the first movie. He got sucked into the bed and then all blood squirted out, and it was this really great, iconic death scene. Um, and yeah, he died in the first one, so there's no way he can be alive. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm already 15 minutes into this movie, and it's already had some horrendous CGI. The scene when the character, I don't really care who it is, but the teenager, kid, character, guy who gets hit by the bus, and the bus driver is Freddy. That is such a terribly done scene. It looks horrible. The special effects, the CGI doesn't. Yeah, it does not hold up. And the other thing about like 4, 5, and 6 is that these movies are not scary like the first movie is. The first movie is like a pure horror movie, and 4, 5, and 6 are 4, 5, and 6 are just made for cash grabs because the original Nightmare on Elm Street made buckets load at the box office, and the second movie also did well because the first one was so well received. People really loved it, and people wanted to see a sequel. So yeah, the sequel did well, and I think Dream Warriors also did well at the box office. So yeah, 4, 5, and 6 are just cash grabs. They're just putting the Nightmare on Elm Street brand name on the title to get audiences and to get teenagers in the seats to watch these movies. But yeah, these movies like 4, 5, and 6 are just big jokes to me. Now, like, it's hard for me to take them seriously because they're not scary. There's just like a lot of like Freddy puns and Freddy one-liners and Freddy laughing a lot. Yeah, like I don't understand. Like Freddy goes so off the road in 4, 5, and 6. He was the writer of this movie. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why Freddy is so comedic in these movies. That's like the comedic side of Freddy has always been a thing, but it's never been like it's never overshadowed the horror elements of that first movie. It was always more in the background. And it's yeah, but in like Dream Master and Freddy's Dead, it's just all like so obvious. It's honestly not even a horror movie anymore. Um, and yeah, like as far as the Freddy makeup goes, it's definitely not the best in this franchise, but I will give it credit. It does look bad, but um, it still looks fine. The makeup, I think, looks fine. It certainly does not look as good as 1, 2, or 3. Basically, anything I say in this video that's related to 4, 5, and 6, um, it's they're never going to be as good as the first 3 movies. So yeah, but yeah, like I said before, I still think Robert England is the best part of these movies, even though the script is terrible. And I'm also pretty sure that this is the movie where Freddy like he goes into a video game or something. It's absurd, this one from memory. Um, yeah, like yeah, this also has really bad acting. Well, the woman at the town fair, um, she's so like over the top. It's like, as is a lot of actors in this movie are. I will say that the three teenagers in this movie are quite good. I will say that, like, it's nothing like Nancy good. Like, she was incredible in 1 and 3. Um, but yeah, like I think they work good together. There's some good chemistry with them, so I'll give the movie that. I haven't seen the movie in like probably like 2 years or so. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I've actually watched this. I thought these videos would be a good idea since we're all stuck inside at the moment due to the hard times that are happening in the world at the moment. But yeah, I think it's best for all of us just to stay inside and stay away from other people. And I just thought these types of videos would be a great idea to hopefully get your mind off what's happening in the world at the moment. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for movies that I should do, maybe a you watch it with me commentary on, I would be glad to hear it and take that recommendation um, into consideration for a future you watch it with me commentary, because I'm thinking about doing more of these more often, because like I have more spare time now. Well, at the end of this week, I will have more spare time, so I'll be able to watch more movies. And since I'm stuck inside and all the shops and all that, at least most of the shops are closed. There's not really a whole lot to do and all that. I'll have more time to watch your movies. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, just put them in the comments. I'll take them into consideration for a future video. But I just thought this movie would be a good starters. So yeah, because these actually no, it just came to mind. My other You Watch It With Me was on Batman Ninja. I think that was my first You Watch It With Me, and then it was Ghost Rider and then Gotham. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, like I remember doing it now. It just took a while to think about it. It was Batman Ninja. That was the move that kind of started up this whole segment. And yeah, that video is my number one most popular video on this channel, which I'm really proud that you guys really liked it. And it has like the most views. It's my most watched video, which I'm really proud of. And yeah, I thank a lot of my audience for that, for actually watching my content and all that. I recently uploaded a Train to Busan 2 Peninsula official trailer reaction, and like that was a really fun video to do because I went like absolutely insane over that trailer. And then I also recently uploaded my Fantasy Island review, which I saw that when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it compared to what a lot of like critics and audiences said about it. I really enjoy it. Like, we're all entitled to our own opinion, and where film is a subjective topic. So yeah, it was just yeah, it's I feel like I just went into Fantasy Island with with very simple expectations, like the concept of being on an island that can deliver on your fantasies, but there's like a sinister side to that. I was hooked on the trailer, as I said in the review, and the DVD is coming out this month, and it's going to have the theatrical and the unrated version. So I'm looking forward to picking that up and giving that a watch because the or buying it on Amazon, or if it comes to Netflix, I'll check it out there. But the director did say something about like there was an R-rated cut of that movie that did exist. I won't lie, that is a cool practical effect there with the blood dripping down the door there, like when they entered the house and the blood was dripping down, and then the house just like completely like falls apart, and we find out that it's the Elm Street house. So now they're in Freddy's home. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool scene then, like the way that they entered and the blood dripped down the door. I thought that was a really cool practical effect there, and then all like the windows started falling off and all of that, and then it turned into the Elm Street house. I thought that was a really cool scene there. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, the director, he did say that he did shoot the movie as an R-rated movie, and then he said that I can't quote it exactly, but this is just what the director came out and said. He said like he showed it to audiences, and um, and I think like they didn't like it or something, like they didn't like the R-rated approach or something, um, and and a couple of trims, and it was a PG-13 movie. So yeah, I'm really curious on checking out the unrated cut of the movie because there's definitely some scenes in Fantasy Island that I can see really going forward. One of the main scenes is the is like the basement scene where like with the childhood bully. You guys know the scene I'm talking about if you've seen it, that is. And yeah, like she's chained up to a chair. I can see that scene going quite brutal and bloody. And there's some scenes I can see kind of going more towards an R rating. But even still, like as a PG-13 movie, like so I wasn't really that bothered by the PG-13 rating. I mean, I'm really curious to check out an up. I mean, I thought it worked really well as a PG-13. Like usually, I notice in horror movies if the deaths are like if if the deaths are like a little bit like off, or if they're like trimmed. Like one example would be like Christmas. Like that those death scenes in that movie were shot to be R. So that's a decent scene there where he puts like the where he puts the earbud in the guy's ear, and all that for that's an okay scene. Then he cuts off a little bit of his ear. That's oh no, that is a little bit disturbing, a little bit. But yeah, like I said, nothing compared to the original. The original is a masterpiece to cinema, a masterpiece to horror. So yeah, there are some decent practical effects. This movie, it's it's definitely the weakest installment out of the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. See now, this was not Freddy. This type of a sequence was so scary in the first one, where like Freddy's like in the Final Nightmare, like Freddy is behind the character, and he's like dancing, and he's in the boiler room, and he's all dancing, he's all jumping around, and that is not Freddy. Freddy in the original, he was in the shadows always. like the boiler room sequence in the opening scene of that original. Freddy was always in the shadows. He was never like um, he um, he was never like all like all happy and joyful and jumping and all of that. That it takes away from like it takes away from the suspense and the intensity of the scene. It's not Freddy in my opinion. Like that is not Freddy. Like I have to come back to this. It's the script. The script is what is making Robert Englund do this. It's not Robert Englund's fault, like at all. It's the script. Like I'm not sure what studios were thinking. Like maybe they were, maybe they were trying to make it like more comedic for like teenage audiences because the second one I'm pretty sure was MA as well, at least here in Australia. It was MA and then it was out in America. Um, and yeah, and then I think the third one I think it was either M or MA. And yeah, like those like the at least the first movie. The second one was reasonably dark. The third one had some great practical effects in it. Um, but like the thing about Freddy's Revenge and Dream Warriors is that it never like is Freddy was comedic in like Freddy's Revenge and Dream Warriors, but there was still that horror side to him as well. So maybe like that's kind of why that they made like like 4, 5, and 6 like M is so teenagers can actually get into them. I feel like that has to kind of be why Freddy is so comedic, or the other reason option is that the studio just ran out of ideas. Like yeah, even some of the kills, like the kill that just happened, like Freddy's like scraping his glove against this chalkboard, and the kid's head explodes, and it's a really gross death. It doesn't feel the same. This doesn't feel Nightmare on Elm Street. It just doesn't feel like it. It's yeah. Oh, this is the video game scene, isn't it? Robert Englund he's probably the one redeeming quality of this movie that still keeps it a little bit entertaining. Like I said, like there's like a handful of things that I can pick out of this movie that I actually enjoy. Like I said, like some of the conversations that go on between the teenage group of friends. I think there's some great conversations. There's some good chemistry there. And there's some really good practical effects, but so far that's all I can pick up that I actually enjoy in this movie. But yeah, it certainly has some of the weakest performances in the entire franchise, and a bad script. Oh jeez. Oh, this scene is just embarrassing. Oh man, that is some bad special effects where like the glowing lights come out of the TV. Oh, that is horrendous. And then basically he's in the TV now. Oh god, here's the video game scene. Oh yeah, this scene's just embarrassing where like Freddy's like controlling the main character. One lines in that scene as well are just like, oh, what went wrong here? And it's coming up, but like where Freddy says like, I've got the power glove or I've got the video game glove or something. There's some line like that, and it's just it's horrendous. There's actually a lot of bad line delivery in this. Oh jeez. Like when like Freddy's like stepping on his like stomach in the video game, like in real life, it's like it looks so ridiculous. What's that? What? And now he's just like jumping all around the house and punching holes in the wall. Oh, and you're actually seeing this in the real world, and oh. So I just had to adjust the camera because my legs were getting so cross like that for that long. So I've just changed the camera angle so I'm kind of laid out so I don't have to sit up like that because... Whoa. Did I seriously just see what I think I saw? Our main character, Chick, kicked Freddy in the balls. Right. First off, Freddy would not let her get away with it. First of all, Freddy would be killing her ass by now. And wow. Yeah, I'm honestly amazed. Let's see audio. Is the audio good? I feel like because it's all the way over there, so yeah, like I don't know if I can, if you guys can hear me clear with it all the way over there. But yeah, I hope you can. I'll put it closer, so yeah, hopefully you can hear me better. Nothing is going to make me get off this bed. And then a fire flame comes out in front of him and he says, damn it. Wow. And then he jumps out the window and he falls a couple of meters. Yeah. The dialogue just does not work in this movie. Wait, what? In case of an emergency, he pulls his shirt and his shirt is a parachute. Is that correct? Yeah, wow. And then he just flies out of the car. Like in the real world, that is. I've said this before many times in this, you watch it with me, but I don't like this version of Freddy. It takes away from the scare factor of his character. Like, his character used to be scary, but it plays out kind of like a Looney Tunes episode. Like, that's honestly what it feels like the humor factor. It feels like it's playing out like a Looney Tunes episode. Okay, so according to what I'm seeing, so it looks like Freddy's trying to kill all his victims and trying to gather all their souls.
I'm honestly shocked at the amount that they're getting away with in this. Wait, how far are we in? 51 minutes. I'm amazed at the amount that they've got away with in the past probably 10 minutes of this movie, to Freddy being kicked in the balls, to some bad deaths, and yeah, it just uh, and the bad like special effects that happened where just then where like Freddy he was like dissolving, and I'm amazed at the amount that they're getting away with. Like, like Freddy used to like scare his victims by, like walking down a dark alleyway with his arms out. Like, if you've seen the first movie, you know what I'm referencing. Like, he used to get to his victims by tormenting them in their dreams. But in this movie, it's just like Freddy is like is is like just joking around with his victims. He's not even scaring them. He's just like he's having a conversation with them. I'm wondering, how did Robert England even agree to play Freddy in this movie? Like, I don't get what he saw in this script that made him say, yes, I want to return as Freddy. Yeah, I honestly don't know. The other thing that Freddy's Dead fails in is the characters. Like, as good as the chemistry is with some of them, with the teenage group in particular, it's they're very weak from a character driven standpoint and from a storytelling standpoint. There's just nothing really to them. They're just kind of characters that are just here to be victims for Freddy to kill them. That's the only reason why they're here. There's really like, unless they were in Dream Child, like I'm not sure. I haven't seen that movie yet. Like next week I might do a you watch it with me commentary on that movie from my first viewing. But unless these are like returning characters from that movie that are returning to this final Nightmare on Elm Street movie, it's there's really nothing to them um, that I'm invested in. And so, yeah, one of the characters, don't know who it was, walked past like a newspaper stand and saw it said 9, 10, never fall asleep or whatever the saying was. It gives more of an origin, more of a backstory to the Freddy character where his wife finds out that he's doing all this sinister shit down in the basement, and he has all like claws and gloves and all that down there. I think this is actually a pretty good flashback scene. Now it's a cut to reality now um, where it's now that girl that was young. She's now all grown up, and she's confronting Freddy, because from what I'm following here, I might be wrong. They had a connection when they were younger. Yeah, like I said, I think that the flashback I think is really well done. I think it's a really well handled sequence. Wow, we're still doing the 3D gimmick. Wow. You don't need to have a reference to say to your audience, put your 3D glasses on. This is a 3D movie. It's I don't like that. It's treating its audience like trash when the movie is basically saying to them, put your 3D glasses on. This is a 3D movie, and the character is literally holding 3D glasses as well. And I also think this is also a decent scene as well, where the parents throw the flamed bottle into the building and they burnt it down and they basically created Freddy Krueger. So one thing I will say about Freddy's Dead is I like the flashback elements. I like the elements that kind of dive into who is Freddy, who was Freddy as a child, and how was his upbringing and all that. And this movie kind of goes more in depth into his backstory at who Freddy exactly was, and yeah, and I really like that part of the movie. It gives more. It's definitely one of the more entertaining parts of Freddy's Dead. That's for sure. Freddy never used to let his victims hurt him. Like now in the dream scenes, like his victims can like hit him with a pole and can like punch him and all that, and he actually goes down and all that. And it's in the first movie they would never do that. Freddy would always, because when the victim's in the dream world, Freddy's in control, which in Freddy's Dead it looks like they just throw that out the window and um, let his victims like throw like punches at him and all that, and it's yeah. I don't really like that because it kind of goes against what a Nightmare on Elm Street is. Freddy used nightmares as a way to get to his victims, and in the dream world, in the dream realm, um, like Freddy's in control. He can do whatever to his victims, and he can get away with it because when they're in his dream realm, he's the one in control. And yeah, this looks like in Freddy's Dead, um, it's just like both are in control now, like the victims and Freddy and all that. I like how Freddy's now getting a taste of his own pain. Like his he's had like his hands bent back and he's been through the shits in the third act of this movie. Oh wow. That is the worst thing I've seen in a movie in a long time. Whoa. Basically, Freddy explodes, and then you get the worst special effects face ever. And it's like, I can't even describe it. It's like, and then there's these like demons, and it's terrible. This was the final nightmare, as the DVD and the title of the movie puts it. Well, this movie isn't aware that Freddy vs. Jason or Wes Craven's A New Nightmare is coming up. So, yeah. Like, I'm glad that we got like Freddy vs. Jason because I think the Freddy in that movie is a lot more scarier than how Freddy is portrayed in Freddy's Dead. Like I know that's not a hard scale to beat because Freddy in this movie is comedic, but yeah, I thought the story in Freddy vs. Jason where like where it was the fear that drew him closer, that got him closer to his victims and all that. Now that he was been forgotten for all these years, and now he's making his big epic comeback. So I think Freddy's story in Freddy vs. Jason was way better. I thought he was also better. He was better written and better portrayed in Freddy vs. Jason. Um, yeah, this movie doesn't really have any satisfaction. It doesn't, for the most part, it doesn't feel like a nightmare movie. Because like just to me, like what I know Freddy as is the dark, twisted, sinister story, and like I know him as that figure. But like this movie, it just I don't know really what happened. So yeah, there we go. That is my you watch it with me commentary for Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, or as they say. In the end, this is a watchably bad movie. It's a bad Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's a bad Freddy movie. The kills in this movie aren't interesting in the slightest, and like as I'm recording this now, which I only just finished the movie like 5 minutes ago, and I can't really recall a death that happened in this movie. The characters aren't that interesting. The script is horribly done. Robert England does his best for what he's given in the script. There's a lot of WTF moments, and there's just a lot of scenes in this movie that just feel like they don't fit in a Freddy movie. Like the scene when he gets kicked in the balls, which that's the third time I brought that up in this video because, in all honesty, that is a scene that should never been in this movie. It should never been a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's just like there's like these weird scenes it's comedy for the sake of being comedy, and Freddy is comedic just because the studio wanted to get more teenagers in the seats, and because that first movie was rated MA. That's the only reason why this movie is so like cartoonish, is because the studio wanted, as for the send off for the Freddy character, they wanted to get as much money, and I'm sure the title also did help that out since it's titled Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. I'm sure that also helped get more teenagers in the seats in 1991 when this movie came out. But yeah, it's just Freddy. I mean, that's not the Freddy that I know and love. The Freddy that I know and love is the dark and sinister one. That will always be my Freddy. I don't like the turn that this franchise took after Dream Warriors. It just went so over the top and so comedic and campy for the sake of just making it campy and comedic. Like that's not Freddy. He's he's never been this comedic. That's never been his character. Like, it's. But yeah, in all honesty, this is a watchable movie. It's a movie you can put on when you have some friends over, and you can laugh at. You can have a good time. But like as a movie that's a part of one of the most popular horror franchises, it is an awful movie. But yeah, it's like I said, it's watchable. It's watchable. Like there's some good stuff in here. There's a handful of things you can grab out of this movie that I like. Like I said, the practical effects are good. Robert England is pretty good in the movie for what he's given in the script. He does a good job at portraying Freddy once again. The chemistry, some of the conversations that go down in the first act with the teenagers, I thought there was some cool stuff there. Yeah, I thought Alice Cooper's cameo was good. I can't really think of much else, but everything else to the 3D gimmick that this movie does in the third act, it's uh, everything else just falls apart. But luckily Robert Englund did get a redemption in Freddy vs Jason and Wes Craven's A New Nightmare as well. So yeah, but there's always that because A New Nightmare came after this movie, so that was a good redemption for Freddy, and he also got to redeem himself with Freddy vs. Jason as well, which I really liked. But yeah, Freddy's never really been dead. The studios, like, the thing about these studios is they will never kill off their most popular the most popular horror icon, Freddy Krueger. Like, they can kill him off. They can call the damn movie the Final Nightmare, but you can never truly kill him off. Like I said, he came back in Wes Craven's Onion Nightmare, and he returned in Freddy vs. Jason. He's never really dead. Like I said, you can call as many of these movies the final chapter, the final nightmare, whatever. But yeah, he's never going to be dead. Like, the studio will keep on making nightmare movies until they stop making money. Like, unfortunately, that's just the way studios work nowadays. So yeah, this movie, like I said, it's perfectly watchable, disposable garbage. It's a movie that, yeah, like, it's entertaining while you're watching it, but yeah, if you were to walk through your house with all the lights off, and you just got done watching this movie, it would not scare you. So yeah, they are my quick thoughts on Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, as that title was fake. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to keep on making that joke because he came back in Freddy vs. Jason, so I have to keep on making that. Like, I find it funny when studios they claim it's going to be called the final chapter, but then they make like another sequel to it, and it's, yeah, I find it funny. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, they're my thoughts on Freddy's Dead: The Final Chapter. But yeah, these are fun. I want to do more of these You Watch It With Me commentaries, but yeah, I'll try and record a couple more next week. But yeah, like I said, if you have any recommendations for movies that you think I should do, You Watch It With Me a commentary on, I'm curious. I'm open to any suggestions. So yeah, pop down through comments and yeah, let me know what movies I should do next. But yeah, I want to try and do more of these over the next coming weeks. Um, I have more spare time next week, so I'll try and record like another one or two You Watch It With Me commentaries next week. I just have to find a good movie to to do a You Watch It With Me with. Like, I have a whole stack of movies over there that I had like lined up to watch, and so far I've only seen one of them. So, and I might pick a movie out of like that collection. I have like all full screen movies there, so I might I might watch the first Scream as you watch it with me. That'll be fun. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, they're my thoughts on Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. So anyways, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you what your thoughts are on this movie. Um, Instead, I'm gonna ask you, what did you think of the original Nightmare on Elm Street? Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, like, I feel bad. Yeah, what did you think of Freddy's Dead: A Final Nightmare? What did you think of this movie, and what did you think of the masterpiece of cinema, Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street? Let me know down in the comments what you thought of those two movies. So anyways, guys, hope you have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.